Hey everyone, Eugene Holden here. So good to be with you once again. During my meditation this morning, I got the hit to talk about this thing. We are undoubtedly experiencing some interesting things, some crazy things, some heartbreaking things here in the United States of America, as well as globally in this year of 2020. You know, when the year began, not only was it the beginning of a brand new year, but it was the beginning of a brand new decade. And of course, we heard about 2020 having a clear vision, perfect vision. And what I like to say about that, because of what's been going on throughout this time, throughout this year, is we will have clear vision. And right now, we are in the experience of extracting the cataracts. There are cataracts in the eyes of the world that have come up, right? And all of these things have been showing themselves to us so that we can clear all of that out. And I'm not here to say that it's an easy thing. There's no way for this to be an easy thing because it's taken centuries for it to get to where it is at. But the thing that came to me this morning in meditation, one of the ways for us to do this is to really dive deeper into that concept of love. Nothing new, but something that we really need to step into at a deeper level. And so for the next 3 days, I'm going to be talking about love in a few ways. Love, loved, and loving. So today we're going to talk about love. I want to talk to you about love. And it's not that kind of love that causes us to be doormats or placemats where we allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. It's not that type of love that sits back and just hopes that everything works out okay. This is the type of love that inspires you to go out and be your authentic self. We're going to talk about the love of the gifts that you have. But this is the type of love that has caused people throughout the ages to stand up for what is right. This is the love that had Gandhi change a country. And it's the same love, that love that he had for his country and for himself. We'll talk about love for self. It's that same love that caused him to get killed. Same thing with Dr. Martin Luther King. He loved himself so much that he tapped into his gifts. And his gift was one who inspired people, that changed the face of America in the 60s. And again, it is a love that caused him to get murdered, killed. So we're not talking about a wishy-washy type of love. We're talking about the type of love that stands boldly in the face of adversity. We're talking about that type of love that stands boldly in the face of what is not right, and then calling that out and saying, we shall not stand for this anymore. It's that type of love that inspires people into action. So this love that I want to talk about today, because it's important for us to love ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? You say, Eugene, but I love myself. And I know that a lot of you out there really do. You really do. And then there are a lot of you out there that were like me, that talked about loving myself, but found myself engaging in behavior that was not loving to myself. Now, there's no need for me to go into the details. We all know what those behaviors may be. You know what it is for you, right? So we're talking about love of self. See, I had mentioned twice that there's gifts, right? You have come to the planet with a gift already embedded within you. You have come with a gift to share with the world. And the only way for you to give that gift, the only way that you to share that gift is to love yourself enough to nurture that gift, to polish that gift, and then to share that gift. As I like to say, a gift is not a gift until it is given. See, what makes a gift is when it is given away. But sometimes we may have the experience where we don't love ourselves, and that love or that lack of love for self shows up as a fear. I'm afraid to give my gifts. I'm afraid that people will talk about me. I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid. And being in that sense of fear is not loving yourself. See, in scripture it says that love casts out all fear. So what we want to do today is to step into loving yourself, no matter what. We have heard that phrase, unconditional love, most of our lives. I love you unconditionally. But unconditional means no matter what. There's no condition on it. So when I say I love me unconditionally, that means that I love myself no matter what I've said or not said, no matter what I've done or not done. In spite of all the mistakes that I may have made, I love myself. See, because that is the only way for us to really start to move forward, is to love ourselves enough to tap into our gifts and our talents and then polish those talents. And sometimes that may take a while, and that's okay. How do you know what your talent is? That which excites you, that which brings you joy, that which you cannot wait to jump out of bed to go and engage in. Love yourself enough to find out what your purpose is. You know, it's been written in scripture that a people without a vision shall perish. Well, vision is another word for gift. There's another word for purpose. Let me say it like that. Vision is another word for purpose. And what is your purpose? Your purpose is to share your gift. What is your gift? Only you know this. So love yourself enough to find out what your purpose is. Love yourself enough to find out what your gifts are. Love yourself enough to let yourself off of the hook. Love yourself enough to let yourself off of the hook. I'm going to leave you with this affirmation. Very short, very sweet, very easy. And it takes consistent daily practice. And the reason I think affirmations are good, it's because, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, is that the subconscious mind holds our imagination, our intuition. It is that which keeps the heart beating when we're sleeping. We don't even think about the heart beating. We don't think about breathing. We don't think about any of that. All of that is done through the subconscious mind. But also the subconscious mind is what holds our memories. And so sometimes we may have a memory that we're not lovable or that we're not loved or that we're less than. So the purpose of affirmations is to reprogram the subconscious mind so that we can get rid of those old tapes that keep running that say, I'm not lovable, I hate myself. So when we start using the affirmation, and the affirmation is this: I love me. I love me. And as we start to affirm that, as we start to affirm it from a place of feeling, and you may not feel it at first, but believe me, as you continue to do this day in and day out for the next few days, in fact, for the next week or for the rest of your life, you can, because it's very short. I love me. I love me. Sometimes I joke around and go, man, I love me some Eugene. It's that love. Then as you start to tap into that love of yourself, that love cannot help but to overflow and flows out of you in a way that you get to share your gifts, serving your purpose from a place of love. I love me. That's your affirmation for today. I love you, and we will be back tomorrow with the other aspect of love. Oh, one more thing, right? Love is a verb. So get into action. Show yourself that you love yourself by doing something good for yourself. That's loving yourself. Peace and blessings.